Welcome students to online classes of mathematics for class 8. In this video we are going to study chapter number 15, which is introductions to graphs. Okay, and we'll be looking at the exercise 15.1. This one is the session number 1 for this particular chapter. Myself Deepak Gautam, DGT Mathematics in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. So let's start with our today's class. The chapter number 15, introduction to graphs, is divided into total 3 subtopics. Okay, in first we have the introduction part, second we'll be looking at the linear graphs, and then we have the application of the graphs. Okay, so today we'll be starting with the introduction part. So let's start. Introduction to graph is, first we have to understand what is a graph. A graph is a visual representation of data collected. Okay, so whatever we data collect, okay, due to in some experiment and observation, so whatever we data collect, we represent that data in visual representation. Okay, so that it can be understood easily. Okay, the purpose of graph is to show numerical facts in visual form so that they can be understood quickly, easily and clearly. Okay, so that is the purpose of representing data using graphs. Okay, simply graphs are the visual representation of the data, and the purpose of graph is to show numerical facts in visual form so that they can be understood quickly, easily and clearly. Okay, there are various types of graph, like we have bar graph. Okay, in bar graph we also have double bar graph, then we have pie graph, we have histogram, then we have line graph. Okay, this line graph also include double line graph. Okay, sometimes triple line graph also. Okay, so let's understand all of them one by one, as you have already studied all of them in previous class also. Just we are going to recall them. Okay, so first we have the bar graph. A bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. Okay, it may consist of two or more parallel vertical or horizontal bars, or you can say rectangles. Okay, as this one is giving us an example of a bar graph. Okay, here we have these vertical rectangles. Okay, we call it vertical bars, or sometimes we also call them rectangles. Okay, you can see the width of each bar is equal, and also the gap between each bar is maintained equally. Okay, so whenever we draw a bar graph, these 2 points we have to remember, that the width of each bar have to be equal, and also the gaps between the bar have to be equal. Okay, and simply bar graph is used to show the comparison of the data. Okay, it may consist two or more parallel bars, or we can also call them rectangles. Okay, then we have double bar graph. Double bar graph can also have double parts, which gives a comparison between two different data. Okay, like we have here, this is the yellow one is showing the number of girls, and green one showing number of boys. Okay, in 5 different classes: class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4 and class 5. So these are giving a number of student in number of boys and girls in 5 classes. Okay, where yellow bar is representing the number of girls and green bar is representing number of boys. Okay, now you can easily compare and find out in which class number of boys is more than the number of girls, or in which class the number of boys and girls are equal. Okay, like in class 2, the both the number of boys and girls are equal, while in class 3 girls are more than the boys, while in class 4 boys are more than the girls. Okay, so we can easily understood the data using, we can represent them easily, and it's very easy to understand the data. Okay, and we represent them using various types of graph. Okay, so after bar graph and double bar graph, we have pie graph. Okay, you've also studied this pie graph in chapter 4 of class 8, that is in data handling. Okay, this is, we have the pie graph is used to compare parts of a whole. Okay, pie graph is used to compare the parts of a whole. The circle represents the whole, which is called the pie graph. So we draw a circle, which is given here just for your example. Okay, it is representing how much water do we use. Okay, like in toilet we use 26.7, in shower we use 16.8, and so on. Okay, there is also leakage of water and some other activity. Okay, so collectively this include the whole amount of water that we used in a day. Okay, and each section is showing the different quantity of the water which we use in different activities. Okay, so this whole is represented by the circle. Okay, so a pie graph is used to compare the part of a whole. The circle represent a whole, and which is called a pie graph. Okay, next we have histogram. Okay, Histogram is very much similar to the bar graph, but the difference here is in bar graph we represent the bar for different quantities or the data, but in histogram we represent it for the interval. Like here we have 10 to 15, then 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 25, and 35 to 40. Okay, so histogram are always represented for the intervals. Okay, so histogram is a bar graph. Okay, simply histogram is also a bar graph that shows data in interval. It has adjusted bar over the interval. Okay, so over the interval we have adjusted the bars. Okay, this line is very important. You can see this zigzag line is shown here. This represents that some amount of data has been skipped in between. Okay, like in between we have this gap of 5 that is 10 to 15, 15 to 20. The gap here is 5, but in the first one we have 0 to 10. That means we have skipped the 0 to 5 and 5 to 10. So to represent that we use this wavy line or break line to represent the skipped data. Okay, so it is used to represent the skipped data. Okay, so as you can see we have skipped the data from 0 to 5 and 5 to 10, so we mark this line to show that. Okay, after histogram we have the line graph, which is very important. Okay, so a line graph is a line graph display data that changes continuously over the period of time. Okay, the main thing about the line graph is it is used to represent the data that changes continuously over the period of time. Okay, like you are given the month here: October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and we are given the produce sales in thousand. Okay, so in the various months they have this company have sold some product. Okay, its sale is shown by the this line graph. Okay, which is shown over the period of time. Okay, similarly in this case now we have this double bar graph, and here we have this double line graph and triple line graph. Okay, so we can have a single line graph, double line graph, triple line graph, or there can be many more different lines representing different data in same graph. Okay, like in this we have wildlife population. So blue line is representing bear, orange is representing dolphins, and this gray one is representing whales. Okay, now based on this we have exercise 15.1, in which we'll be using these graphs, or we'll be studying the graphs to find the conclusion. Okay, so now let's move to the exercise 15.1. the first question here is, we are given a graph here. Okay, so question is, the following graph shows the temperature of a patient in a hospital recorded every hour. Okay, there's a patient admitted in a hospital and his body temperature has been recorded by the doctors every hour. Okay, so we have to answer certain question based on this graph. Okay, first one is, what is the patient's temperature at 1 p.m. Okay, we are asked what is his temperature at 1 p.m. So okay, let's see. This axis, which is the x-axis, is representing time, and this y-axis is representing temperature. Okay, now let's see at 1 p.m. which is here. Okay, you are asked it's his body temperature at 1 p.m. so at 1 p.m. we move upward. This is his temperature at 1 p.m. that is, it is between 36 and 37, so that means his temperature is 36.5. okay, so the answer for number 1, part A, his body temperature is 36.5 degree Celsius. Okay, next we have, when was the patient's temperature is 38.5. when was the patient's temperature is 38.5. so this is 38 here. Okay, 38 is here. In between 38 and 39 we have 38.5. on this line we have this temperature. Okay, and this temperature is at 12 noon. So the answer for this one, part B, is that the patient temperature was the patient's temperature was 38.5 degrees Celsius at exactly 12 noon. Okay, now the third question is, the patient's temperature was the same 2 times during the period given. what were the two periods. Okay, that means between two periods the temperature of the patient was similar, so we have to find out that that temperature, okay, or the time during which the temperature was same. Okay, as you can see in this region this line is flat. Okay, that means the temperature has not changed between this period, that is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, so the answer for part C is the patient's temperature was same between was same, or you can say was same at 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Okay, third one is what was the temperature at 1:30 p.m. how did you arrive at your answer. So you ask what is the temperature at 1:30 p.m. so 1:30 p.m. means between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. so between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. we have this temp point. Okay, and at this point the temperature is remain constant between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. so we can say answer for this one is part D. Okay, the temperature at 1:30 p.m. was the temperature at 1:30 p.m. was 36.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, and the temperature was constant between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Okay, hence it remains same, hence we can consider that it will be 36.5 at 1:30 p.m. also. Okay, now next is during which period did the patient's temperature show an upward trend. Okay, in that means during which time the temperature has increased. So the first temperature has increased between 9 to 10 a.m. and it again increased from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and it decreased and then remained constant. Then in the end from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. it also increased. So the temperature shows upward trend 3 times. Okay, so we'll write the answer for part E is the temperature showed upward trend from between, or you can say from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. then 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and in the last 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, the temperature has showed upward trend 3 times, 9 p.m. to 10 a.m. sorry 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, so that's the answer for the question number 1. Now let's move to the question number 2. We have again a graph given. We have to read the graph and answer the given question. So question is the following line graph showed the yearly sales figure of a manufacturing company. Okay, so we have to answer certain question. First one is what were the sale in 2002 and 2006. In 2006, the sale was this 4 crore. Okay, and in 2006 the sale was 8 crore. Okay, so the answer for the part question number 2, part A, it's first. Okay, so first we are asked what was the sale in 2002. In 2002 sale was 4 crores. Okay, so we'll directly write in 2002 the sale was 4 crores. Okay, part second, In 2006 the sale was 8 crores. Okay, let's see next one. Next question is, what were the sales in 2003 and 2005? So part B is first is, in 2003 the sale was between 6 and 8, that means 7 crore, and in 2005 the sale was moved up, that is to 10 crore. Okay, 7 and 10 crores. So in 2003 it was 7 crores, and in 2005 it was 10 crores. Okay, next question is, compute the difference between the sale in 2002 and 2006. So we have to calculate the difference in the sale between 2002 and 2006. In 2002 sale was this 4 crore, and in 2006 the sale is 8 crores. Okay, let's write its answer. The sale in 2002 is equals to 4 crores, and the sale in 2006 is 8 crores. Therefore the difference between the sale is the sale is 4 crore. Okay, so clearly the difference between the two is 4 crores. Next is part D. In which year was there the greatest difference between the sale as compared to its previous year? So you can see just by looking at the graph, the longest length of the graph between the 2 year is here, that is between 2004 to 2005. Okay, so we can directly say that by studying the graph that question is, in which year there was a greatest difference between the sale as compared to its previous year. So it's between year 2004 and 5. Okay, so sale shows upward trend or increase between 2004 to 5. Okay, let's write its answer. The difference in sale was greatest between you can say greatest in 2005, okay, as compared to its previous year 2004. Okay, so from the graph you can easily see that longest length of the line is in between 2004 and 2005. Okay, so we can say the difference in sale was greatest in 2005 as compared to its previous year 2004. Okay, so that's the answer of question number 2. Now moving to the next question. Question number 3 is, for an experiment in botany, two different plant A and plant B were grown under similar laboratory condition. Their heights were measured at the end of each week for 3 weeks. The results are shown by the following graph. Okay, so we have two plants here, plant A and plant B. Plant A is represented by the dotted line and plant B is represented by the dark line. Okay, and their height were recorded for 3 weeks, that is week 1, week 2 and week 3. Okay, based on this we have to answer a few questions. First is, how high was plant A after 2 weeks? So plant A is represented by dotted line. So after 2 weeks the height of plant was 7 centimeter. Okay, so let's write the answer number 2. Okay, answer number 2, it's part A and it's first. Okay, so after 2 weeks the plant A was 7 centimeter long. Okay, so let's write 7 centimeter, and second part of this is after 3 weeks it was here, that is 9 centimeter. Okay, now next is how high was plant B after 2 weeks and 3 weeks. So after 2 weeks plant B was also 7 centimeter, and after 3 weeks the plant B was 10 centimeter. Okay, so this is part B, it's section 1. So after 2 weeks plant B also 7 centimeter, but after 3 weeks the plant was 10 centimeter long. Okay, now let's see the next one. How much did plant A grow during 3rd week? So in 3rd week how much the plant has grown, plant A. So after the completion of 2 weeks the length of plant was 7 centimeter, and after completion of 3rd week its length is 9 centimeter. So the difference is 2 centimeter. Okay, let's write this. During 3rd week growth of plant A is equals to 9 centimeter minus 7 centimeter, which is turned out to be 2 centimeter. Okay, now next is how much did plant B grow from the end of 2nd week to the end of 3rd week. Okay, same we have to write for the plant B also. Okay, so during 3rd week growth of plant B is equals to 10 centimeter minus 7 centimeter. Okay, this is after 3 weeks, this is after 2 weeks, so the difference is 3 centimeters. Okay, so in 3rd week the plant B has grown 3 centimeter. Next is during which week did plant A grow most. Okay, so let's see. By looking at the graph you can see the longest length of the line is between 1st and the 2nd week. Okay, so that means during 2nd week the plant growth most. Okay, so answer for this one is 2nd week. Okay, next is during which week did plant A grow least. Okay, least, that means in 1st week its length was 0 from starting, and after 1st week the plant B was only 1 centimeter. Okay, so during 1st week it grows very least. Okay, so its answer is 1st week. After that we have part G. It says were the two plants of the same height during any week shown here, specify. So at what time the both plants were of same height, that is at the 2 week, after completion of 2 week both plants were 7 centimeter height. Okay, so answer for part G is after completion of 2 weeks both plants were 7 centimeter high. Okay, so that's the answer for the question number 3. Now moving to the next question, which is question number 4. Again we are given a double line graph. We have to answer certain question based on this. Question is the following graph shows the temperature forecast and the actual temperature for each day. Okay, so as you know the weather department every day show a weather forecast. Okay, so sometime it is accurate and sometime it may vary. Okay, so you are given that the forecast and the actual temperature of each day. First is on which day was the forecast temperature the same as the actual temperature. That means both dots should be at the same point. Okay, this dotted point is line is showing the forecast and this dark line is showing the actual temperature. Okay, so you can see at this point both are same, that is on Tuesday. Okay, you are asked on which day. On Tuesday the temperature was exactly same as predicted. Okay, so the answer number 4, part A, it is same. And after that on Friday also you will see that both the dot are at the same point. That means the temperature is exactly as forecasted. And on Sunday also it is same. Okay, so on the 3 day, that is Tuesday, Friday and Sunday, the temperature was exactly as it was forecast. Okay, so answer is Tuesday, Friday and Sunday. Okay, next is part B is what was the maximum forecast temperature during the week. Forecast is represented by dotted line. So the dotted line reached highest on Sunday. Okay, it was what was the maximum forecast temperature during the week. So it was on Sunday, which is 35 degrees Celsius. Okay, so answer for this, on Sunday it was 35 degree Celsius. Okay, next is what was the minimum actual temperature during the week. So actual temperature minimum was on 2 day, that is Thursday and Friday. Okay, it remained lowest, that is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the answer for this one is what was the minimum actual temperature during the week. So the answer for this is on Thursday and Friday actual temperature was minimum, that is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, now let's see the part D. On which day the actual temperature differ the most from the forecasted temperature. It means the point where the difference between the two temperature is the most. Now you can see the difference between the two temperature is most here. Okay, as it has 3 boxes in between. Here it has 2, here also 2, here 1. So on Thursday it was most differ. Okay, answer for this is on Thursday. So that's the answer of question number 4. Now moving to the next question. Question number 5. We are asked, use the table below to draw a linear graph. The first is the number of days a hillside city receives snow in different years. Okay, so we are given different years and number of days the hill city receive the snowfall. Okay, so I've already drawn the axis. So we have the two axes here. This one is the x-axis and this one is y-axis. Okay, where the two axes are intersecting, it's called the origin O. Okay, now let's represent the points. In 2003 the rainfall was on 8 days. Okay, that means on 2003 the rainfall was 8 days. So we'll mark a point here like this. Next, in 2004 it was 10 days. So in 2004 move upward to point 10 here. Okay, then in 2005 it is only 5. In 2005 it's only 5, so it will be between 4 and 6, so it will be here. Then in 2006 it is 12. So in 2006 we'll move upward to point 12. Okay, so we have marked the points for each given 4 year, the number of days they have received rainfall. Okay, as we are asked to draw the line graph. Okay, so that means now we have to join these points to form a graph. Okay, let's do it using pencil skill. Okay, you have to draw this. So in 2003 it was 8 days and move to 10 days in 2004. Okay, then come down to 5 days in 2005, then move up again in 2006 to 12 days. Okay, so that's the linear graph or line graph for this given question. Okay, I hope you understood. Now moving to the next one, we have the population in thousand of men and women in a village in different areas is given. Okay, we have to represent this also by the line graph. Okay, I have again marked these scale. Okay, this is x here and this is y, and where the two lines are intersecting, this is 0. Since I have skipped the data between 0 to 10, so I have marked this exact line which is representing that the 0 to 10 have been skipped. Okay, then we have 11, 11.5, 12 and 12.5, 13 and 13.5, and so on till 16. Okay, let's start. I will use two different color, blue for the men and red for the women. Okay, let's start with the men. In 2003 it's 12. So in 2003 for men it is 12. Okay, in 2004 it is 12.5. Okay, so it has increased slightly in 2004 from 12 to 12.5. then in 2005 it becomes 13. So in 2005 it is 13. Okay, it is increasing. Then in 2006 it is 13.2. in 2006 it is 13.2, so that will be somewhere here. Okay, between 13 and 13.5. in 2007 it is 13.5 exactly. Okay, so that will be here. Okay, I think I have marked this incorrectly. They should be on this line here. So I have marked the growth of the number of men in a village, okay, during the span of 2003 to 2007. Okay, now let's do it for the women. In 2003 it is 11.3. in 2003 it is 11.3. that means between 11 and 11.5, somewhere here. Okay, then in 2004 it becomes 12.5. in 2004 it becomes 12.5. okay, which is similar to the number of, no, I think again I have marked incorrectly. For women it is 11.9. okay, so it is below 12, somewhere here. Then 2005 it becomes 13. okay, now it is similar for as the number of men. Then in 2006 it becomes 13.6. in 2006 it becomes 13.6. that means slightly above the 13.5, somewhere here. Then in 2007 it falls down to 12.8. okay, so in 2007 it will be 12.8. that means below 13. okay, now we have to join these by a scale to make a line. okay, so that will be a line graph. okay, let's join it for the women's first with the same red color. So first point to second like this, then second to third, then third to fourth, and then fourth to fifth one. Let's do it now for men with the blue color. So it is from first point to second, then second to third, then third to fourth, and fourth to fifth. okay, now from this graph you can clearly see the population of men is continuously increasing, while the population of women first increase, then in the end it falls down to 12.8. okay, so that's the solution for this question. Now moving to the next one, question number 6 is a courier person cycles from a town to a neighboring suburban area to deliver a parcel to a merchant. His distance from the town at different times is shown by the following graph. Okay, so we are given this graph. Based on this you have to answer certain question. So what is the scale taken for the time axis? So time is taken on this axis, which is x, okay, and this is y. So first question is, what was the scale chosen? Scale that we have choose, we have representing 1 2 3 4 boxes as 1 hour. Okay, so the scale for this one is, this is answer number 6, part A. Scale here is the scale taken for time axis is 4 units. I'm writing that here, 4 units equals to 1 hour. Okay, the second is, how much time did the person take for the travel? That means how much time he took in his entire journey. So he started at 8 a.m. and reached his destination here, that is between 11 to 12 noon, that is at 11:30. Okay, so between 11:30 and 8 the duration is 3.5 hour. Okay, you can say 3.5 hours. Okay, next is, how far is the place of the merchant from the town? Okay, so from town he started from here and he reached the destination here, that is it is 22 kilometer. Okay, so the answer of part C is 22 kilometer. Next is, did the person stop on his way? Explain. Okay, stop means the distance travel become unchanged or constant or same. Okay, so as you can see, between this period he is not traveling any distance. Okay, so between 10 to this 10:30 he took rest. Okay, between 10 to 10:30. So answer is yes. Okay, question was, how did the person stop on his way? Okay, so we can write yes, between 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. the person stopped. Okay, next is part E, during which period did he ride the fastest? So during which period he ride the fastest? You can see his distance increased the most in this first hour, that between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay, so answer for this one is E, is between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. that is in the morning. That's the answer of question number 6. Now we have come to the next and the last question of this exercise. You are asked, can there be a time temperature graph as follows? Justify your answer. Okay, so now closely see this. This first graph represents that as the time is increasing, the temperature is also increasing. So this condition is possible, that with the time the temperature can increase. So this is correct. Okay, in second one, what we have, the time is increasing but the temperature is going down. Okay, it is going down. So this is also possible, that with the time temperature is coming down. Okay, third is, the time is not changing. Okay, and which is not possible. No matter whatever the situation is, time always ticking forward. Okay, so this cannot be possible. And this one also, here the temperature remain constant but time is moving. Okay, so this is also true. So answer for this one is, the third is not possible. Okay, So that's the solution of the all the 7 question of 15.1. With this we have completed the exercise 15.1. Now you have to practice all this question multiple times so that you understand it better. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you for joining here everyone. Thank you.